Hi everyone, Jim Rizoli here with my brother Joe.
Hi.
This is actually part one of the last video I did. We didn't get the beginning of it, but the woman behind us here is Margaret Shepherd. She is the counselor, city council for my district that I live in, Joe and I. And what's interesting about this is she's going to actually go on about a couple things here that I think people should really know about here. All right, it has to do with rule of law. The first thing that she's going to talk about in this video is going to have to do with
kids and early child care.
Okay, kids, early child care, and how the town should be more receptive to that. And then the second thing that she's going to deal with, which we talked about in the last video, has to do with immigration and making it easier for immigrants to be here and assimilate and be productive. Okay. Now remember, we're talking about illegal immigrants here. We're not talking about just regular immigrants who are legal. So what we're going to do is we're going to show you. I'm going to just bring the whole video up and show you exactly what was said during that time period. And then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about some of these things, our viewpoints of them. Okay?
Let me just make a point. This is what happens when you vote people in office who have an agenda for their own particular type of people. The people that she's going to be talking about, the kids, are actually probably the kids of the Brazilians that she's representing, that she wants to have babysitters for, because these people need to work. And then she's going to talk about licenses,
right,
which is, again, it's not who you think it's for, because we as Americans can get licensed. We don't have this problem. She's placating on behalf of people that are having a problem, and those people are illegal immigrants.
All right, so let's play. I'm going to actually bring the whole video up of that section of it. And even Yvonne Spicer is going to talk a little bit, I believe. Well, even though we did have that end of it in the last video, I think it's good for people to see that too. So let's bring it up. Then we're going to come back and we're going to talk about it.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you very much, all of you on the table, to be willing to share your experience. My questions for Mayor Spicer. What are the plans for early childhood education? That's a big issue for us, for working mothers that have to leave early for work and have no time to really prepare the kids. And also, what are the plans for increase the before and after school programs, also to help working parents to have their mind set and be able to work in peace? Another question I'd like to raise is for everyone. I cannot forget the undocumented woman and the hard time that we are facing now to be working in this country, to do not able to have a driver's license, to do not able to fully grow on entrepreneurship. I'd like to hear from Mayor Spicer what's Framingham policy about immigration and how that policy will be heard by the community. Thank you.
Thank you. There's a lot of questions there too. And I'll start with early childhood education. This is a topic that has been near and dear to me. And it's largely because I strongly believe when families can have their children experience early learning, they are building the capacity for future learning. And whether it is reading to your children, or learning phonics, because I learned from my colleagues that teach early childhood programs that when children can't access language, they cannot understand phonics, it makes it very difficult for them to read. So early literacy is important to me, exploration, and also making sure that these opportunities are affordable. This past week, I had the good fortune to have a call with Senator Elizabeth Warren and to talk about some initiatives that may be coming forth for some greater funding and to be targeted for early childhood education. And I've also spoken to our superintendent, and I know his push is also around early childhood education and making sure that we have funding and resources for families that want to have pre-K and K education. So I'm excited to hear that there's some funding coming from the federal government that will come to the state, and hopefully Framingham will be in alignment for that. As far as after-school programs, similarly, we're looking and evaluating the after-school programs that we currently have in the district. And the good part is as mayor, I get to sit on school committees, so I get to be a fly on the wall. I don't get to vote, but I get to hear all the good conversations and have silent votes under the table here every now and then. But I'm very excited about the direction of looking at the after-school and before-school programs we have in-house, and how do we expand them, and what is it going to take to expand them? Because right now we are at a loss, and trying to think that we have the resources in-house as we build that program. He's the director of community outreach and engagement, and Joe's been terrific. So I'm excited about that prospect. And when it comes to immigrants and immigrant families, you know, I had an incident happen to me this week in this building, and you know, I had a visitor in my office. And it was a woman that I was able to help. Her husband was undocumented and was having some challenges, and I put her in connection with you know, our representatives that would potentially could help, and through our senator, she was able to help this family. And so she brought her husband to meet me because she was advocating. She is a citizen, but he wasn't. And she wanted me to meet her husband, who proceeded to thank and hug me for saving his family, because their children are born here, and this would have definitely broken up their family. And I have said this many times, is that Framingham has always been a community built upon many people. And I will do everything in my power to ensure everyone in this community is safe, and everyone that can stay in this community, and do whatever I can to make that happen. Our police department does not actively pursue people or cooperate with ICE, and I certainly have a very good relationship with our police chief. It is a daunting situation, because not to be able to make a living for yourself because you don't have proper documentation. The more I learn and the more resources I tap into that can help. You know, as a matter of fact, I invited a friend this evening who actually does a lot of specialty law in immigration, because for that very reason, that might be able to tap into somebody that's in the audience that may not be documented and may be able to looking for some ideas on what next to do. So I'm consistently trying to look where those resources may be and how best to bring them to Framingham, and to the best of our ability.
Okay, so here we are, we're back. Now, as you can see, Margaret Shepard, you know, she went to bat to have this program to help the children, having after school, what's it called there? After school?
Well, after school care for the
kids. After school care.
Which is, it takes it everybody,
yeah.
But primarily remember who she's on behalf of speaking for.
Right. But we just want to let you know that it's not bad having a program like this, but you have to understand what really is the reason they want to have after-school programs for the kids. And the real reason has to do with that a lot of the Brazilians that are coming here working 2 and 3 jobs, all right, they don't really care about educating the kids after school. They just need babysitters.
Right.
That's all this program is, all right? Don't be fooled. All right, this is a program because they are working 2 and 3 jobs, okay, and they're making a lot of money, and a lot of these people...
And they don't want to pay for it.
And they don't want to pay for anything, okay?
Right.
And also, they're able to get a lot of the services, government services, free, even though they are probably making more money than me, and Joe probably put together.
Right.
Really, seriously. All right? So they come off like they're poor, they need help, but they really need help so they can continue on in their illegal working here and all those type of things. So that's that end of it. Now let's go to the other end of it.
So the other end of it is we got a mayor who comes in now, gives a sob story about this immigrant who's going to be deported or whatever because ICE is coming after him, and he comes into the office and he gives her the blue story, and we can't break up these families. The guy's here illegally. He's broken the law. He has an ICE detainer on him. He's there for a reason. Either he overstayed his visa, he didn't leave the country, he was asked to leave, or he was asked to go to court, he didn't go to court. He broke the law. The mayor now is trying to defend this using the excuse that we don't want to break up families. People, this isn't how it works. You break the law, you have to suffer the consequences. This is what we have in America for Americans. Now this should be, it's a sad situation, the person comes here, but they knew all this. They knew it when they came here. They know that if they overstay their visa, they're going to have trouble, but here's what they pull. They figure, well, if we keep having our kids here, they're citizens, and they're going to be in a predicament because, you know, we don't want to break up families, and this is exactly what they're doing, and they're giving the sob stories to the mayor and the state reps, and asking them to fight on behalf of them. They can't fight on behalf of them because what they're doing is fraud. If any state rep or the mayor thinks that she can protect illegal immigrants in their state in America when we have 3 volumes of books that talk about the immigration laws, this woman's fooling us. She should be voted out of office. This is a disgusting thing that's happening.
Another thing I want to bring out too is the scam that's happening is it's either or the women are marrying American men,
right,
or the men are marrying American women. And I've seen this happen several times. I mean, not just with the Brazilians. I know we had a woman living in the back here, the house next door to us.
Russian.
She was Russian. I mean, she married a Russian. She was German. She married a Russian.
Came in.
Okay, so that's what happened with her situation.
He left her.
And after a few years, he just left her because he knew he could get her the green card.
Right.
Well, the Brazilians are doing the exact same thing. In fact, Margaret Shepherd, I don't doubt, now you can correct me if I'm wrong, Margaret Shepherd did the same thing. She ended up marrying an American. Now, she ended up getting her citizenship status, but there's something fishy about what happened with her. Because we don't know unless she divulges the information. But she ended up...
Emma Paixão on the...
Yeah, well, the point is a lot of the Brazilian women here are latching on to American men so they can try to gain citizenship status, okay? And it's really not right to do that, but they do it, they pay men.
I heard a story, a woman was getting her hair done downtown, an elderly woman, older woman, and the girl that was Brazilian working on it said, hey, would you like to marry somebody? They'll pay you.
Right.
That's what they do. They pay. This was probably 13, I mean, how many years ago that I heard this story. And it keeps going on.
Right. So the scam continues, okay, right, and the mayor is part of this because
right,
she's got sucked up into it because of the sob story that this woman gave. But remember, what's happening to this guy is a legal situation the government's trying to contain. All right, Framingham, City of Framingham, the city councils maybe, the mayor definitely are part of this little criminal enterprise here that's trying to protect illegal immigrants. Okay, that's what's happening here. Mm-hmm. So we have to speak out.
Margaret Shepherd is the spokesperson for her group of people, which are the Brazilians.
Right. And most of them.
And she got voted in office, and the dumb people in Framingham voted her.
Well, you have to understand, there's so many immigrants now in where we live here that they can outvote somebody like me because there's more of them than there are of us. Mm-hmm. So anyway, that's where we stand now. We want people to understand this, that we're not against immigration. We're not against legal immigrants, but we're against the criminals, okay? Particularly in this case, again, dealing with Brazilians, but I'm sure the other nationalities are doing it too, except the Brazilians are more in your face because they got Margaret Shepherd representing them, all right?
Every time she talks, she says the same stuff.
Yeah.
I got people that need to work and they don't have their social security number
or driver's license.
It's like, okay, so we're talking about illegal immigrants, right, Margaret?
Right.
But she's not telling anybody that.
So the question that comes up now is we would like to have Margaret Shepherd investigated because she's on the city council.
Right, the city solicitor should be going into this and telling them, you can't do this. This is illegal. You're breaking the law. Right. So we asked that the city solicitor in the city of Framingham look into this.
And into Margaret Shepherd.
This is a criminal enterprise.
Well, two things they got to look into. First of all, they might want to look into Margaret Shepherd's past and how she worked her way around the legal system here, okay? And then we would want to look at her business practices and ask her and investigate to see if she hires illegal immigrants, because it's come to us anyway through the grapevine, and again, we could be proven wrong, but we feel highly strongly that Margaret Shepherd employs illegal immigrants. But again, you know, she's going to have to come clean with that. I don't know if that's ever going to happen, but we would like to know, because if they are driving with no licenses and false social security numbers, you know, that's a felony. Those things are criminal activities there that have to be stopped. So that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to make people aware of the criminal activity in the city of Framingham and how everybody seems to be behind
well,
it.
It seems like the city's got off on a wrong foot right now, and it's not going to get back. If you don't get this in the bud, nail it in the bud now, forget it. It's not going to be fixed forever.
Well, anyway, that's it for now, folks. We want to thank you for watching, and we're going to do our best to expose this illegality that's going on in the city of Framingham. I'm Jim Rizoli.
I'm Joe.
And we'll talk to you again sometime.
See you later.